It's November 2025 and coming to you from Lansing, Michigan. This is Digging In. Hi again, everybody, and thanks for joining us in this latest episode of Digging In. I'm Eric Urbain with Miss Dig 811, and with me always is Jeff Johnson. Jeff, how's it going?
Going all right. We got through Halloween, and I still have my teeth, so that's
And you
good.
still have your teeth. Well, yeah, I mean, everything go well. I mean, obviously, the last time we were in this studio, it was just about Halloween time, and it looks like you survived. Everyone else survived.
Yes. We had a good time. Went trick-or-treating in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Wasn't as many people giving out candy this year in our neighborhood, but we went to my mom's neighborhood and had a good time, real good time. And then my wife and I got to go out to a Halloween party afterward because my son stayed with my mom. So
there we go.
There we go.
That's a successful holiday.
Yeah, we got out.
And good stuff. And you will notice that Jeff and I are not alone, actually, in studio. We are happy to have a special guest with us. Nick Andrus is the Director of Outside Plant Operations for Merit Network, and I really appreciate you coming in and taking some time to talk to us today, Nick.
Absolutely. I'm honored to be here. Happy to be here.
No, thank you for Nick reached out to us, Merit Network, and they've experienced some issues in the field over a little bit of time here that are probably not unique to them, but could have wide ranging impacts across the telecom industry. So we brought Nick in to kind of give a little bit of a lesson here to what he's seeing out in the field with Merit Network, and hopefully some ways to move forward that would put our communications networks at a little bit less risk and a little safer way of doing things.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No, and I look forward to that conversation. But guys, it is November, and the days are much shorter now, and the end of the year is in sight. But things are still happening out there, for sure. Tickets are still flowing, and certainly all the traffic cones are still up, seemingly everywhere. You want to be across the state, and in this episode, we are also excited to feature our second Digging In segment, where we will highlight some tasty foods from some of our local Lansing area restaurants.
You won't guess where this one is.
Yeah, right. So we'll get it all to that, but first, let's get into some headlines. Now, as I mentioned, it's still a busy time of year, and we talked last time, Jeff, that we are setting records all over the place.
Yes,
right?
every month.
Every month we're setting a record. Year over year we're setting records. We certainly expect that to continue throughout the rest of this year and beyond. But just to kind of give a little more credence to that, October ticket volume, we processed over 150,000 tickets in October. That, guess what?
Is a record.
Is a record.
Yeah.
In fact, that is only the second month ever we have processed 150,000 plus tickets. You want to guess what the first time what was?
August or September?
September.
Yep.
So
yeah. Outrageous.
So we've set a monthly record this year for every year but one.
Every month. Yeah.
And we will, of course, set the annual record. I think as we sit here today, this is the second busiest year we've had in terms of ticket volume on an annual basis, and there's still 2 full months essentially to collect that data. So
yeah, we're gonna win.
we're gonna win.
This year is gonna win.
There's a win.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's
I
a
mean, but that's
contest,
improved, usage. That means people are paying attention. That means maybe our messaging is getting out there. But if nothing else, what it shows is that a lot more people are being safe with their excavation.
yes, yeah. High ticket volume is not a bad thing,
No.
right? Now, does it make life a little more complicated from those who receive all these tickets to locate them? Of course it does, but
Yeah.
that's what Miss Dig 811 is here for, is to take those dig notices, right? And as long as folks out there are contacting us, they're using the service,
Yes.
that's step one in having a safe and successful project. And if volume is high, so be it. It's far better than the opposite, where volume is low in ticket volume, but the same work's being done out there. We just don't know about it,
Yep.
right? That would be a far more problematic scenario.
Yeah, and that would lead to more damages. So,
Oh, naturally, of course. So keep it up out there, everybody. Another thing of note here: the Misdig mobile app is here and available. So we have talked about that in the past and tried to preview it, but as we sit here today, as you are listening to us or watching us online, the app is available. It is live,
Yep.
and it is absolutely free to download. It's available
App Store,
at
Google Play Store,
Yep,
wherever you get your apps.
yeah, the app store of your choice.
Yes.
It is available. Just search Miss Dig 811. It shouldn't be that hard to find it. There aren't a whole lot of Miss Dig 811s out there to compete with it. But
Yeah, it's a good app. Very good app.
yeah, no, great app. I mean, a lot of good information. Certainly, positive response,
Yes.
access to positive response information is likely the most impactful aspect of it. But information, contacts, training, all sorts of resources available through the app. Now, creating tickets and as on the excavator side, and then kind of receiving tickets and posting to them
Yep.
aren't quite there in the app yet. We understand that that is something we are working towards, and I think that would make even streamline operations for excavators and our locators even more. But
I got a call about that this morning.
Did you? The
Yeah.
app already?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
About
see.
the app. Can I? I work for a municipality. Can I respond in the app? And
Sure.
I told them we're looking to build that out.
Yep.
Not yet, but
That is-
it looks like it's coming.
Well, it's going to be huge.
Yeah. Game changer, and
Yeah.
then we'll be really breaking records.
Oh, for sure, right? Because
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, if the locators can have that information in the palm of their hand and in real time be able to go back and provide that response, I think really does change the game for a lot of
Yes.
members. So it's something that is talked about and being worked on behind the scenes out here. Don't worry about that. It's just not part of the app in this initial rollout, right? So, but as the app evolves and updates, just stay tuned, and we'll let you know what the next evolution is in the app. But first things first, get out there and download it and check it out.
Yes. There's training in there too.
Yeah.
So you can do training right on your phone. You want to learn anything about Miss Dig, it is in there, built in. Definitions, Public Act 174, all these great resources are in the app, built in already for you.
Yep.
So
Beautiful
I was
looking.
not aware that was going to be available, and that's my next download as soon as I get out of here.
Terrific.
thank you. Yes. It's fun.
No, and credit to the IT folks around here. So much
Yes.
of that
Oh, yeah.
has been literally hand built
Yep.
by
In-house.
our folks in house. It wasn't farmed out. So, once we get to a point where we're able to integrate, the software offerings that OCA and DPP on our side from the Pelican side of things into that mobile functionality in the app, that's really when this thing takes off. But it's a great product, great app with a lot of great information. So encourage everyone to download, check it out. And then, obviously we mention this every episode, and we are going to continue to do so until that happens. But again, this is just another reminder. The Great Lakes Dam Intervention Conference and Expo will take place here in Lansing, February 3rd and 4th. Lots of educational sessions, demonstrations, exhibits, networking opportunities. Now, but with that said, if you have an idea or a topic or a product or something you want to promote to the damage prevention industry, we still do have slots left to lead educational sessions and room for exhibitors. So please visit Great Lakes 811expo.com for all the details. You can also just find that link on our homepage and our website too. But Great Lakes 811expo.com, check it out. And if you want to get involved, whether leading a session, sponsorship, exhibit, we'd love to hear from you. Or if you just want to register to as an attendee to be part of the action, there's no cost whatsoever to attend. So we look forward to see you over the winter here in Lansing.
Yeah, free conference. Can't turn that down.
Yeah.
You gotta come.
Yeah, I mean, what's...
I might have a session.
we'd love it.
We definitely would love it. Yeah.
And for what it costs, what else you got going on the first week in February?
For
right,
free.
Folks? Like, we're all going to be digging out of snow, so
Yeah.
might as well
We'll
come
be
out.
there, and we're cool people, so you can come check us out. We might do a Digging In podcast there
Yeah,
at the conference. It
Right.
might happen, so you could be a guest. So
it's
for free?
It will be your chance to see the world famous Jeff Johnson up close and live. So, come check us out. And if you have any questions, certainly let us know there. So, with that out of the way, it's time for our what is quickly going to become one of our favorite segments on the show.
Yeah.
the digging in segment. So,
Yes.
let's jump right into that.
When you're digging a hole, either large or small, it's the law that you make yourself a 3-digit call. Digging a trench or garden in the sun? You gotta call Miss Dig, 811. Miss Dig will set you up to have the pros look around to mark the cables and the pipes that are hidden underground. It's free, it's safe, it keeps your project fun, and it's the law. Call Miss Dig 811. Because if your power stops and your cable's gone, or a gas line pops and your water won't run, everyone will tell you what you should have done. You should have called Miss Dig 811. Sponsored by Miss Dig 811 and the MAB.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is the time of the program where we're going to get into our digging in segment, right? Where we want to highlight some local establishments here in Lansing. So if you're coming through, you work in Lansing or traveling through and looking for a place to stop and get a bite, we want to certainly support our neighbors here in the capital area. So we're bringing our non-scientific reviews to you in terms
Yes.
of some of these establishments here. And this is our second time doing this. Jeff, I think we were both happy with our first featured place. I believe
Yeah, Sidecar
Slider Bar was very good and worth your time to check out. And today we have Dagwood's Tavern and Grill with us. Now, if you're from Lansing, you've probably heard about them. They have been around since 1947, and the location there at 2803 Kalamazoo Avenue in Lansing. It's right there with where Kalamazoo and 127 meet.
Mhm.
So, it's
Right off the highway.
yeah, right off the highway.
Yeah.
The building is, I believe, was from 1901. I was looking at, and again, they've just been in that location for decades, well established, and just being in there, really cool folks. Even on a busy rush when we kind of stopped in.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is the fact that they still use the techniques
Yeah.
of 1947 to make their food.
Oh,
That
sure.
means a lot.
Yep.
That they still use whole potatoes to make their fries, hand cut. They still make the burgers the same way. Probably on the same grill too.
Well, hey, and it's happening right there in front of you, which is something a little bit
Yes.
different.
It is.
Yeah, that the grill is right there. If you're at the bar, you're going to see your food being made. But cozy little place. Obviously, a very loyal clientele. But if you have an opportunity to check out, or you haven't checked out Dagwood's Tavern and Grill here in Lansing, again, check them out online. They are at dagwoodstavern.com, so pretty easy to remember there. And again, they're at 2803 Kalamazoo in Lansing. So what we have here is kind of a variety of samplings from the menu. What are you working on over there, Jeff? First,
I got a Dagwood burger, so I'm going with the classic. This is what they have, and then I got a piece of a fish sandwich. I'm gonna see what that's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Chili cheese fries because we had some from Sidecar,
Yep.
and I want to see whose I like better. You know,
Right.
And then what is this? A crab something?
Well, from their starters menu, a little crab bites.
Crab bite. Yeah, so I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna see that, but I'm gonna start with the Dagwood.
And
Left off the feta cheese.
I didn't get any.
Well-
I can't eat the feta cheese. Listen, Nick, what do you think of the feta cheese? Because you and Eric can handle it.
I am happy to eat your portion as well. Mine. It's very good.
And yeah, so Nick and I, we have a zesty feta cheese dip with some chips here, and trying that. It is certainly zesty, which is delicious. Jeff just can't do the spicy so much, so we will enjoy as much as we can here. So let's dig in here for some initial thoughts. I guess my first thing, I'm going to go with their Reuben. Give a try of their Reuben, which is something that many people do. Few do it wonderfully. So let's see how this is. Mm-hmm. Okay. And my one bite review, I would give this a passing grade. No, this is good.
It looks great. It looks delicious.
Oh, yeah.
As quiet as we are, that lets you know how
Right.
good it is.
Yeah. For people just listening and not watching, like dead air. And what are you doing? Well, and everyone's just stuffing their face, right? But
The chili fries are really good too. They gave us the chili in a separate container so that the fries wouldn't get too soggy. It was carry out.
Yeah.
which
Nice touch.
which again is nice, right? That wasn't something we even asked for. They just said that's what they wanted to do, knowing we were going to take it back. So appreciate that on the customer service side. And again, what I appreciate here is this looks like this is truly the house chili, right? If you were to order like this is serious. This isn't just some processed chili nonsense that comes from a quick expense machine. So certainly appreciate that.
The Dagwood burger is a very good
Legit?
burger. Yeah.
All right.
It is legit. I see why we got one of our coworkers, Jason. He told us that he lives in Lansing, and he told us that Dagwoods has some of the best burgers in town.
You got me
Now I know what he's saying.
you got me going now. I'm going to try. And I love the fact they got that slice of onion on there.
Oh yeah, never go wrong with a healthy dose of onion on a burger. Yep.
It's real.
It is good.
And you have what are your thoughts on the little crab bites? You try one of those yet?
Try it. It's very crabby.
Very crabby. Well, that's exactly.
It has some tang to it, or maybe the zest is in this sauce. Maybe that's the sauce.
Yeah, I think you're getting a little from the cocktail sauce.
It's got a little bit on it.
Yeah.
Little zing.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. If you love crab, it has full crab flavor.
There we go.
Yeah.
I was talking about this. I'm finally going to get in on this zesty feta dip here. Got to try that.
Looks like you got Kevin's portion on your plate.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That is a thumbs up.
Yeah, I'm appreciating the differences in the chili cheese fries from Sidecar. Like I like both of them. I
Right.
think both are great, but
Well-
they have fundamental differences in the chili.
Right. And which is, I think, exactly what you would want to see, right?
Mhm.
From two places like
Yeah.
that, right? Make it personalized to what you do best over there, and rather than just everyone just slopping canned stuff on
The
there.
same
And-
stuff,
right,
yeah,
you
yeah,
can- you
and
can
that's-
get that anywhere. So
That's what I'm saying. You can tell it's a dramatic difference, but it's good. All right, here we go. Fish sandwich. Mm.
I don't have a fish, so I'm curious to see what you have or what you think.
It is very good. Crunchy, but flaky and light at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow. And they already give you some little tartar sauce on it already. Oh yeah. That's very good. I would just get the fish.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
You'd be all
even
set
need the
with fish?
sandwich. Yeah, I'd be set with just the fish.
I'm actually enjoying the crab cakes. It does have a
Yep.
little zing to it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's very tasty.
And obviously this is far from the full menu, but what I think you are hearing and seeing out of this group here is, whether it be the burger or some of the sandwiches or the starters here. So far, everything is top notch
Yes, it is.
and delicious. So, would absolutely recommend Dagwood's. If you haven't been there, again, if you want to check out some of the offerings, it is a classic, pub kind of tavern feel. And if you want to see what they offer in terms of menu, again, check out their website, dagwoodstavern.com here in Lansing. And, well done. Much appreciated to the folks over there. All right, so that again was great, but let's get to our main point, of discussion today. So, like mentioned before, joining us today is Nick Andrus, who is the director of outside plant operations at Merit Network. So, again, Nick, thanks. Welcome to Digging In, and thanks for taking the time.
Happy to be here.
Oh no, happy to have you. Why don't you share with folks that may not be familiar a little bit about Merit itself, maybe a little bit about your role and background in the industry here.
Yeah, sure. Started right out of the gate when I was out of high school, about 20 years old in the telecom industry, and been working at it ever since. And came on board with Merit about 14 years ago, and about 7 or 8 years ago, that's when we formulated the outside plant team out of necessity. It was kind of handled in a blur between parts of the organization, and it was time to actually jump in with both feet and do what was right. So about 7, 8 years ago, we pulled together a team. I've got about 6 engineers on staff and some support personnel, and we're responsible for about 3,000 miles of fiber that runs throughout the state of Michigan.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Do you go all the way to the UP?
We do. We cross the Straits of Mackinac.
Wow.
We go to Green Bay, Duluth, Minnesota. We
Okay.
connect into Chicago. We go across the international border
Yeah.
in Detroit and connect with our friends in Canada.
Yeah.
And we also go to that school to the south that shall not be named. Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
So we pretty much have the state covered. I mean, we're always building, looking for new connections. There's still some. Let me get more. Merit is a nonprofit, 503c, and we're dedicated and we serve the educational community. As a matter of fact, 12 universities sit on our board.
Oh, wow.
We're directly hosted by the University of Michigan,
Okay.
and we operate the largest K through 12 network in the state as well.
Wow.
So really community minded, community based.
It was awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think you can overstate the importance of that. You know, you have a dozen of the universities across the state tied in with merit. It's not just as simple as a residential customer, you know, losing Wi-Fi for an afternoon. When we have an issue, well, that to them obviously is a big deal, and we're looking to avoid that. But you know, when you have, you know, our, you know, just higher education and higher learning and all the research and
the
everything
data
that's going
points
on.
going through there, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is truly critical infrastructure.
Well, I mean, like I said, the K through 12 is big because we know what happens when their internet goes out at school. They watch movies. That's what they're gonna do. So if you want them to keep learning, leave it alone.
Yeah, no, critical infrastructure, and you know, you guys, you know, have been at this for a bit, but we have seen it internally. You know, when we add new members to the system as they come about, you know, probably over the last handful of years, it's really in two places. You know, and telecom, but not just specifically telecom, but school districts. We see a lot of small municipalities, a lot of new fiber, but a lot of, you know, school districts and folks in the education space are coming aboard as MISTIG members because they have an interest in, you know, protecting that investment, that fiber that they put on there to reach. So to know that you guys are really providing that service to so many across the state, I think that's an incredible thing you guys are doing.
Is. How did Merit start? How did it come about from the beginning?
The word is it's right actually about my time, but 1966 it was Wayne State, Michigan State, and the University of Michigan had a desire to collaborate and share information, and that's where Merit was born.
Wow!
And I was hearing something. You guys might, you know, beyond just educational, you know, in-state networks, you guys may have had a little larger role in something that we all take for granted nowadays.
Yeah, Merit has a over the years really good attachment and robust research folks, and they had a hand in setting up parameters and how the internet would work and run. I can't speak on it; it's over my head, right? But,
hey, they were there.
I've heard the story and I'm quite proud of it.
That's awesome. That is. I mean, we use the internet. Everybody all the time, every day. So the fact that, you know, your organization had a hand in how it runs is just amazing. They touched every person everywhere, including like my 80-year-old grandma. Yeah. She has to thank Merit a little bit for your role. Yeah, that is amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah, our lives are broken up into like pre-internet and post-internet, you know, eras of our existences. So, you know, to
well, you know what I say? I don't say pre-internet, post-internet. You guys say pre-Wi-Fi and post-Wi-Fi.
Oh, well, now we're getting into subsets.
Well, I'm just saying the internet, you know, some people had it, some people didn't. But then once Wi-Fi hit, everybody was on it in some way, shape, or form at some point.
No, you're right. I mean, we get to the point where like, how did we all make it without it? It's become such a part of, you know, what we.
Oh, it was better
what we
back
all
then.
do.
It was simpler. It was
like there's something to be said.
Yeah.
How did we? You know, I've often asked when driving somewhere. You know, you've been for the first time. How did we all get to where we were going before?
Patience,
you know, you just had something
and
in
landmarks.
Your car,
Well, the idea that you were literally disconnected when you pulled out of your driveway, and let's say you're going to go visit grandma or loved ones, and they're 30 minutes away. No one knew your status until you actually pulled into their driveway, right?
Yes.
I tell my kids and some of the other young folks in the family, and when they hear these stories, they just shake their heads. Like, I don't know how you guys did it.
It looks strange looking back, but at the time, like, it was normal. Like, you get directions. Yeah, get on this highway, get off here, make a turn at the Sunoco or the Speedway or the Myers or whatever the landmark was, and you know, go down 3 blocks or a quarter mile or a mile, and on the left, you know, and you found your way. For some reason, we had a better personal honing system to where we were going.
I just attended a conference this past week, the MAIDS conference, educational community, but I ran into a gentleman that had property up north that I think he set up to like 5 or 6 years ago after he bought the property. It had a party line. Not many people remember what a
Oh,
party line
wow.
was. Wasn't a dedicated phone line.
Yeah, I know. It's the I can't even think of the 2 numbers or something, and everybody could get on it. Anybody could jump on it.
So all the phones that were tied to that party line would ring,
Yes.
right? And then everyone would have to pick up, oh, that's not me.
Yeah.
You don't want to talk to me, right?
So he had one still at the house.
Yes.
Was there anybody to run it? Because I thought an operator had to be on one end or connected.
I'm telling you, at some spots.
Okay, because that would be like 5-3 heavy or something. It'd be like 2 numbers in the word or something was how they gave out the party line numbers. I mean, it was before my time, but I definitely heard about it.
I didn't have enough friends to have to worry about that, I guess, growing up. But no, and we could talk about the wonders and pitfalls of the internet for an entire episode. But
Yeah.
really, what Nick is here to bring us is some of what they have experienced out there, not just here recently, but for a while, and it's really drives home and touches to the damage prevention aspect of what we do. And in some ways, how folks that have, I guess we'll call solid intentions on ways of, protecting these lines and that infrastructure, but it goes beyond just locating, right? There are some things you guys have experienced, and I think it's really important for the folks out there to know about what you guys have seen and what we can do about it.
Yeah, you're spot on the fact that it's not something new. I've been in the industry for a long time, and maybe 20 years ago, I started noticing the practice. It's come out of necessity. Basically, what we're talking about is scraping the sheath or barking the cable to get to the metallic makeup of the cable so that you can induce a tone and perform a locate. In this case, a self-locate, meaning that you're not the operators of the facility, the owner of the facility. It's folks out there that are trying to expedite things, and by being able to access that sheath and using their own locating device.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been going on for quite some time, and like I said, out of necessity. Back in the day, a lot of the structure owners or utilities had in-house locating departments, and through the desire for a better bottom line, they saw maybe some advantages to hiring that stuff out. So quickly grew a grassroots effort. People that knew anything about locating were bidding on jobs or services, and that industry grew quite quickly, right? But with that growth came some challenges. Bringing on staff that maybe didn't have the locating background, handed devices that they weren't really sure of, and then everybody trying to be profitable, probably handling a ticket load that wasn't quite right sized for the crews that they were fielding. So in that aspect, it caused issues in the field, delays, mismarking, and in the delays, if you think about a smaller construction company, switch from the locator side. Now we're going to step back and we're going to talk about the folks that actually do the digging. They rely on MISDIG.
Yep.
They rely on those locates and the accuracy of the locate and the timely addressing of those tickets.
Sure.
Well, so at times, the timeliness lacked, right? So you've got a smaller excavating company that's on the side of the road that could have $500,000 of equipment plus personnel and payroll, and they're sitting waiting for the underground utilities to get marked. Well, it could be enough a delay. It could affect the bottom line. It might fold the company. So a sole proprietor or owner of a small firm says, I'm not going to leave my future, my business at chance by waiting for someone to show up and accurately locate these utilities.
Right.
Yeah.
So they started asking questions, right? What is that device you have there, right? How does that work?
Yeah.
And they got smart. Yeah, it's a little bit costly, but I'll shill out at the time, $4,000 for a locator for a decent one.
Yep.
But they had no training themselves.
Right.
So the practice of barking the cable developed, right? So instead of going back, and because they don't have the training, instead of going back to a bona fide test station or a station where the sheath has been tapped the proper way, they learn that they can go to a handhole or some other access point and then take their knife out and skin the outer jacket of the cable to get down to the turnstile or the armament of the cable, right? In my case, it's fiber. Fiber is inherently non-conductive.
Yep.
So the manufacturers throw in a turn plate or an armament for two reasons. One, for rodent deterrent, right? And then we can also leverage that because it's a continuous circuit, right? It's perfect for locating besides having a tracer wire.
Right.
So there's no trace. They open the handle. There's no tracer wire prevalent. They feel the cable. It feels pretty rigid. There's probably metal in this. They strip the cable. So what have they done?
Yep. Well,
they've scraped the housing off.
Yeah,
and protection.
Yeah, that's it. The weatherproofing and the durability has now been compromised.
Yeah.
So by doing so, it's shortened the life of the fiber. It's opening up to the elements. Water infiltration will shorten the life. It'll the integrity, the strength of the cable. So those handholds, as I was explaining earlier, are programmed at certain distances, and that's maintenance slack. And then once that maintenance slack is compromised in such a fashion, and then the repair done to that maintenance slack, it's no longer able to be relocated or shuffled in any direction. Say there's a road construction job that MDOT has, and I have a new alignment assignment or a placement in the right-of-way. I no longer can use that slack that I had engineered and paid and built for. It is no longer viable for myself or my team. So, for example, Merritt is very tuned into quality of construction and making sure that we're safe, not only for our network and for high performance of that network, but also public safety. So we're in the middle of doing aerial assessment. And if we can't make alterations on the pole that meet NESE compliance, we then engineer and go underground. Well, we had a segment that we built it's back in 2023 from Midland to Oscoda. And we programmed all those maintenance slack into that re-engineering and rebuild. So that's a long rebuild. Probably CapEx on that was probably $9 to $11 million, right?
Sure.
So by the end of summer of when we kicked off that construction effort, by the end of summer, it was reported back to me that about 70% had already been scraped and barked by locators.
Oh, my goodness.
70% of my brand new plant.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
And that's, I think we all understand why that is happening. What they are hoping to achieve when doing that. But, what is, I guess, ironic about that at the same time is we constantly preach that contact of any kind with a utility. It doesn't matter if it's a steel pipe or a plastic one or a fiber or telecom. If you make contact, ding, nick, scrape, that should be reported immediately to the facility owner, because what we understand is that compromises the integrity of that line, and somewhere in the future that is going to create a failure point, right? Just for damage prevention's sake. If anyone just comes in contact with a line, contact the facility owner. So it's really kind of out there that we are willfully going in and compromising a buried facility just to gain access to an access point to do some self-locating.
Yep. And it's under the guise that I believe that they don't understand the damage that they're doing. What harm could this little window that I'm cutting in cause, right? Yeah. And again, the practice has been out of necessity.
Yeah.
It was a growing industry, right?
Yeah.
So I think we're to the point now, we've got to do what we're doing today. Is the only way to stave this off and halt it is through education.
Right. And we're so fortunate to have you here to talk about this, because I've been doing this a long time myself here, working at MISDIG, and this type of conversation about this practice is, I don't think, well known. And I'm sure if you're experiencing fiber operators of all sizes and across the state are seeing similar things, right?
And don't you think it'll increase with the amount of fiber going in now
Sure.
everywhere? So,
Yeah.
this could be an issue that is statewide, nationwide.
Yeah, my reach is limited to Michigan, but I'm
Sure.
sure if it's here, it's got to be everywhere else. And I have checked with other operators in the state and people that hold my position, or engineers, or even contractors that are out there, and they're all reporting the same thing. I bring it up, and before I can finish my sentence, the hands are going up in the air, the head's getting thrown back, and so I know it's not just. And if it was just a merit thing, then it's like, okay, what have we done?
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Who have we made angry? and that's typically not Merit's MO, right? So.
Sure. Well, so, we know why it's being done, and if you're listening and we're talking to you, if you're one of these folks, we understand, but, please, that is not an approved practice. Let's right now, if we can, try to reduce, if not eliminate, this practice. But for folks that are, let's not get into so much to the excavator side, because we all have this understanding that the excavation community oftentimes does have locators, or locate equipment, let's put it that way, and will, hook up to verify or remark things when our question. We understand that. We certainly understand that is not part of the MISDIG law, but everyone understands that happens. But for our, the other locators out there that are looking to tie in, or in the occasion, an excavator that's going to do it one way or the other, what's the proper, channel? What is the appropriate way to?
Glad you brought that up, because I almost forgot about that. Right. So we understand why it's happening, and I also don't think the risk involved is fully understood by the folks that are performing the self-locate. Right. So the quick answer to your question is the facility owner should be the only one locating, or it's certified representative.
Contracted locator.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one else. And the only way we can do better there and make sure that the folks are calling the numbers and willing to wait on the side of the road with all that equipment and payroll sitting there is to do our best as operators or utility companies to understand the fact that those people are waiting for us, and it's costing them money. So we need to perform quickly. And I talked to our locates are contracted out. We have a great relationship with the company that performs all our maintenance and emergency repairs, and they also do our MISDIG responses as well. They are incredible, and it's because we share the same values, and we're always meeting, and I'm always conveying that message that your locators need to make sure that when they leave, they've given their card, or if they haven't talked to them in person, they're making sure that over the phone that if it's a big project and they see that there's going to be impact, make sure you've developed that relationship and you've provided that line of communications. That way there's no excuse for that contractor to say, I didn't know they were there.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. And then the last part of that component is, or that formula is, when they call you, show up.
Yes.
Right. Not 4 days later. Right. And then when I have the opportunity, and I do talk to some contractors or excavating companies, I tell them, look, if you're not getting the response, then you can always call the number that's on the route markers that are on there, or up on the poles. I mean, we have pole tags. Even if there's an underground dip and there might not be a marker there, if you see the riser on that pole, I almost can guarantee you at least a 90% clip that my pole tags are up there. So you walk to the riser and you can see our number. You call.
Yep.
And I will ensure that if someone will be out there, and if not, I'll come out personally.
Sure.
Right.
That's awesome. So, you brought a video, right?
We do have a video.
A video to kind of
show
what to do, what not to do. So yeah, let's
a little
take
fun.
Let's take a look at that.
Take a look here. So, oops, I'm gonna go to the right place.
Eric's gonna pull that on up. We can check it out, and we're gonna make sure everybody can see this video.
Little background story on this. Barnaby's one of the other gentlemen in the video with me, and he's a doctor. He's got a doctorate, and I pulled him out into the woods to film this thing, and we get to the segment where we're supposed to scab the cable and bark the cable. I'm thinking, we gotta pause here. I gotta go around the truck and get a knife. He pulls out this
The knife he has
yeah.
is what he. Oh, it's on him.
On him.
Oh,
He wa-
okay.
he was ready.
Okay, yeah. Wait till you see this because I've seen this.
What's up?
Hey guys, how you doing today?
All right, beautiful day. You know,
It is a beautiful day, but I'm not too happy right now. Locates are taking a while. It's costing the company money. It's already mid-morning. What's the progress?
Yeah, I knew you were going to feel that way. We called in our restake, right?
yeah, yesterday.
So, but no one's shown up yet.
Okay, well, we can possibly get the locator in the truck and kind of do it ourselves if you guys can do that for me.
Yeah, we could do that. I wasn't sure if that's the route you wanted to go, but if you want to do that, well, let's go get the new locator and we'll try her out.
Yeah.
So you are the contractors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got a job to perform, and there's no staking's been performed.
Yeah.
But you got to get to it.
Got to get to it.
Okay, so that locate post is like a mile down the road that way, if I remember.
That's too much, man. That's the opposite way from lunch. Lunch is the other way. I got an idea.
Okay.
Just locate. We'll hook up here.
I have a nice and clean. Oh, there it is. Nice and blue. That look good to you, man?
Take a bunch off. What does it matter?
Hold up a minute. This common mistake is costing us all. Cutting into a fiber cable to locate it can cause avoidable damage, compromising integrity and shortening its lifespan. Not only does it pose undue risks and liability for contractors, but it also jeopardizes you and potentially your team's safety. Self-performing locates can lead to improper staking, and incorrect staking risks cutting the fiber or leaving misguided markers for future projects. Remember, safety first. Protect the fiber, protect your business, and most importantly, protect each other. Let's take a look at how this should be done.
These are some examples of the route or markers that you'll find out on the route. We have two examples what contractors and other utility stakers will find as they go out on the route staking or their construction project. The one with the round top here is just a route marker. It's just there to show the running line of the facility or the cable. The second example here is what we call is a test post or a locate post, and it's distinguished by having the different style top. This top can screw and exposes some terminals here that allow for an electrical connection back down to a splice case. These are used so that a frequency can be induced from this location here safely, efficiently, without having to scab or scrape the jacketing off the fiber, which is not a welcome practice, not at all. The facility owner of that cable would come out, find his nearest point with a test post or locate post. They will then grab their leads and hook on appropriately. They would insert their tone here and ground typically on the center post. And then they would be able to take their locator and trace the cable out on the ground and paint and show the running line of their fiber so that it can accurately be located or missed by any construction that's in here.
Let's say you as the contractor have located, you finished up, there's been no harm, no foul, nothing done, but those stakes remain.
Yeah.
And they were wrong from the beginning. But you were able to get out of that job unscathed.
Right.
The next contractor comes in, calls for a restake or calls in their own staking, and sees the old flags that were put there or the paint. The next contractor says, "They're still here. I'm fine. I'll just dig."
Yep.
So the liability.
Yeah, and they were wrong the whole
and They were
time.
wrong the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we have multiple people working off of
Bad enough
bad
it's
information.
fiber, gas.
Oh,
Yeah.
Think about the liability.
Yeah, I am happy you contacted us, and I think you all have a very accurate video of portraying, the causality, showing what the issue is, and then showing what a good positive locate can look like and how you should do it. I think you all did a great job.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah. No, I mean, there are ways to connect and tone out buried facilities. I guess the first and most important thing to mention about that is let the folks that own and operate and are responsible for that be the ones worrying about it. First of all, there. I mean, that's. But even if you are inclined for whatever reason to try to perform some verification or locating on your own, this is simply not the way to access that. I mean, essentially, this is willingly damaging an underground line.
Yeah.
While we understand that you just wanted to get it marked out to finish your work, 2, 3, 5 years down the road, if where this has been exposed and we have some, corrosion or the elements get to it and we have a failure, right? And you're the one with the last ticket out there, right? You damage that line, right? We talk about this a lot, like you mentioned in the gas industry. You'd never dream of such things, right? Because internally, we as a training topic, we point to a damage and structure explosion in the Upper Peninsula from a couple of years ago. The underlying cause of that incident was contact to that gas main years prior.
Really?
And it took years, but at that contact point that went undocumented, unreported, that's where the failure was. And then it, obviously then the gas, it was buried, exposed. We had a structure explosion for something just like this. Every time you expose that sheath, you are running the risk for somewhere down the line, there's going to be a failure point in that line. And it doesn't matter if you were just trying to get it located. Ultimately, as an excavator, you have damaged that facility and you will be held responsible for it. And in a network, such as Merritt's, where we have high profile, high capacity fiber lines,
yes,
the repair costs are going to be significant, right? Yes, it's not scary like an electric primary, right, or a gas main, things that really get people's attention. But the infrastructure it supports and the institutions that they support are critical and vital to the success and evolution of the state of Michigan. And the repair costs on such things are going to impact your operation.
Absolutely, maybe, and I think the intent is not done with bad intent, but understand that your actions have consequences.
Yes,
and fortunately for a lot of folks, these are indirect consequences or consequences that might not impact them down the road. But the message is be a good operator. Understand that what you do could have impact to other folks.
Well, I mean, what hit me the hardest is what you said. What made you start on this journey is the fact that you put in millions of dollars worth of infrastructure, and within a short amount of time, 70% of it is damaged. That's unbelievable, and it's not fair, and so getting the word out about, hey, like, come on, let's, you don't want people coming messing with your construction equipment or any of your stuff that you're putting in as soon as you put it in, and they come mess up 70% of it. Like, as any company, any industry wouldn't want that. So, and like you said, I don't think it's malicious either, but I think it is a lack of education, which is why we're here today.
No, absolutely. Yeah, we really got to start raising awareness on this, and I think this is a good first start. So this is, a great conversation, and every day, miles upon miles of new fibers being laid, right? And the ISPs and the providers of this infrastructure, they certainly wouldn't want to see this, and it's something that you guys have experienced. So, Nick, really do appreciate you, kind of bringing this out and to highlight.
Yes.
Excited about the opportunity and excited about the folks that you guys can reach and get the word out.
No,
thank you.
Great. No, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. perfect time here. It's about that time we bring this episode of Digging Into an End. Again, I want to thank Nick with Merit Network for coming in and shedding light on this. Really do appreciate it. And of course, thanks to Dagwood's Tavern and Grill for the excellent food.
Yes, the
and
burgers,
oh man, good
fish
stuff.
sandwich. Yeah,
all of the above.
So, Nick, what was your favorite?
The potato patties were pretty good.
Oh,
With
the
did
crab?
the crab,
Yeah.
that's right, crab patties, and then the corned beef sandwich was
Okay.
outstanding.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So if you are, looking for a place to stop and get a bite in Lansing, here, check out Dagwood's. And but beyond that, of course, we certainly want to thank all of you out there for tuning in here. But please follow, subscribe to Miss Dig, not just digging in, but all of our socials. And again, share this podcast if you enjoy what we're doing here. Please share this with your friends or colleagues and help get the word out. And if there's a topic you would like to, see covered or would like to be on an upcoming episode yourself, please reach out to education@missdig811.org, and we'd love to have that conversation with you. Or you can just leave a comment below as well. And it goes without saying, but we certainly want to encourage you to check out our website, missdig811.org, for all things 811 and damage prevention related, including links and contacts for liaisons and info about our expo.
And download the app.
Yes, and get that app.
Downloading the app after this.
Thank you.
Yeah, and but with all that being said, until next time, for Jeff Johnson, this is Eric Urbain signing off, reminding you that safety is in your hands. Contact Miss Dig 811 before every dig, every time.